is Miss Mohammed. I'm making this video to show you a few things that I think are very useful. One of them, the first thing, is actually right here. It's that you can stream to your Google Classroom with a background that you've set up so that it's live, yet your background is something else that you put onto the setting, which I think is great if you're interacting with little kids in the elementary area, because they need visuals and they like that type of engagement and stimulation. So rather than just having your own home as your background for your live classes, you could make something a little bit more engaging and dynamic to really thrill the students and bring them into a different environment and maybe make class a little bit more exciting, especially since we're doing this online. This is also what Drive Learning teachers will be using as a platform to make their lessons more engaging. So when we're doing study halls or when we're doing a session, the backgrounds can be like a whiteboard or whatever we decide. But the point is that there's this awesome technology out there that allows you as a teacher to stream live using a green screen filter to change your background. So I'm just going to quickly go over what I have as a setup, and I'm not going to go too much into OBS because that system, it's free, and there are so many YouTubers who've done great videos on how to use it. So I'm not going to recreate their wheel. I'm just going to direct you to YouTube and let you know that this system that I'm using right now to stream live to this Google Classroom that you see over here is through OBS. And so what you would need are both OBS. You download that, and there's a package for Mac and there's a package for PC. It's a little bit more PC friendly, but there are packages for both. And you can then download their virtual cam, OBS virtual cam, and add on that package as well. And when you basically go in, you go over and you would see, well, I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is my OBS Studio. So over here, you see that I'm clicking onto my studio. I'm streaming this over here. And I've clicked over to show basically that I have all of these different scenes set up in my OBS so that I can go, hey, here's my background. This is how my actual setup is in my house. But you as a teacher could just get a green poster board just like this one that you see in the background from the Dollar Tree, and just zoom in on that and use a chroma key filter, which if you look, when I go into my own virtual cam right here, to show everything like that, I have a filter on. So I'm clicking here, and it brings up filters. And then when you go to filters, you want to click on this plus sign, and you go to chroma key. And you can add in a green screen effect naturally, and you press, it will just do that for you. And that's how you get to use your background, how I get to do things and show. So on here, this is me with my regular green screen. There's no filter. It's just streaming me as I am. But over here, if you see me go to my plus sign, that's what I would do right here. I just press plus, and I go to, oh, I'm sorry, wrong. Click on your actual source. Right down there, go to filters, press plus for the filter for chroma key, and press OK. And it says green screen, and I want that. So yes, you go ahead and close it. And now it's basically got nothing behind me because I don't have an image layered onto this OBS layer. So I can add an image right here by pressing plus. And I can say, okay, when I put an image behind me, so it's saying okay. And then I have to browse my computer and I can search for an image. So I'm just going to search for, let's say, castle. not sure if it's going to bring up my castle, but I'm looking. So I found one. Alright, well, this one's a PNG. That's okay. I'm going to bring it over. And you can see that it's blocking me. So I need to layer myself and switch that up. And I'm going to put my own body over here. And keep that image there, and I can resize that image so that's a little bit fits into my screen maybe more the way I want. Okay, so that's basically the rundown of OBS. You can use it to stream live to your Google Classroom. When you start, you press like this camera and you would select your source as OBS Virtual Cam. Again, I'm not an OBS pro. I'm just a teacher who's learned about OBS, and I think it's great to incorporate into our live lessons. So check out OBS, go to YouTube, study up. There's a bunch of videos. I don't have any particular person that I recommend, but I did learn from a few different people. I had to kind of go into different videos to see different things. So you can email me and I can set up a live lesson of OBS if that's something that you're interested in. You can email me through Drive Learning. So drivelearningbyteachers@gmail.com is where you can reach me, and I can set up a live meet to show you anything you like more clarity on that I'm not going to go into right now. So this is that. What I did want to show you next is how we can also use Google Slides to make things more engaging. So if you are streaming live and you are using OBS, you could switch your system and your scenes over to, I'm sorry, is this where I want to be? Yes. You can switch the kids over just like you would into other screens and kind of go over different things. So right now, I want to show these Google Slides that I've created, and these are free. You just have to head over to drivelearningbyteachers.com, sign up as a free member, and you can access the slides in the teachers resources or teachers area, and also the parents area, because I believe parents might enjoy using these with kids. You guys can have your kids practice at home to get familiarized with using slides and dragging and clicking and whatnot. So these slides are free, and there's also a teenage set that's coming out. I have not published it yet, but it will be available. So what I wanted to quickly go through with these slides is that it's like dress up for kids. So when you look at them, oopsie, sorry, I gotta get rid of that. When you look at the slides, as a teacher, you can use these slides to basically make your own characters, move them around, and do whatever you want. Copy and paste them into other slides, but you can also assign activities to the kids, like can you make a face? So the kids would then have to figure out, oh, let me drag these eyes over and let me see if I can do it. Can I put a right nose? Can I resize? And this might be complex for some of the little kids, but it's something I believe they're going to have to get familiarized with. So learning or teaching kids to be a little bit more tech savvy, teaching them to resize objects within slides, to drag and drop, I think is important, especially as we move on into education being delivered through distance learning. So there are some sample faces in here that I've created to kind of show what you can do with the parts that are already there. And of course, you guys can always use Bitmoji, the Bitmoji add-on. But I thought about the fact that some kids might not always have internet access, and if they downloaded these slides to their computer at home, they could still use and create kind of like Bitmoji type characters, but without the add-on app, because they don't have to worry about being connected to the internet. And so this is just for people who might be concerned with that as well, and just for fun, really. So here we have a slide that has these different types of hair. We have short hair and different styles. textures to fit different types of kids that are out there. We have some long hairstyles, and again, we have different styles and textures to fit the different types of kids that we have out there. And we have a slide here, which is just a demo of like, okay, if we want to teach our kids, hey, you want to play around with hair, you can teach them to just move off the hair. They could delete that hair if they wanted to, and then move on a different piece of hair to mess around. You could have them put the facial parts on this slide if you wanted them to, but you don't have to do that. It could just simply be an activity on making the character's hair go where they want it to go. So that was that. There are some hands and feet in here just in case they wanted to do any type of activity where they make their character play with, high five or something. They may need a hand part, or maybe they want to make some feet prints for whatever reason. So footprints. That's what these little parts are there. They don't have to use them because here on the bodies, the hands are already there, and the feet are on these parts, so they may not actually use them. However, you might use them as a teacher. So here's something you could do with the body parts for the younger kids as an activity for drag and drop. You could have them say, okay, well, where's the left arm going to go? And there are some differences between the left and right hand when they're facing us. So, putting them on the right side would be something that shows they can see those differences. And just knowing, oh, here's the head, and dragging it up there. So it's just a little activity that can be for the younger ones. Here we have some clothing slides. And these clothing slides are kind of neat because, they can drag and drop. And the other thing teachers may not know is that when you click on these items, if you go to Format Options, you can actually recolor them sometimes. So they'll give you your options if there are recolor options. And so if you don't like the color selections or you want to change them up sometimes, you might just go ahead and add a different color to them. So on this slide here, it says, can you help Armando change into his black shirt and pink pants? So the kids would have to rearrange and figure out, okay, you want to go ahead and pick a different shirt and pants for Armando. So that's something they could do. In here we also have career clothing in different types. And so with the different types, there's also different activities. Like here there is Martha. She's now missing clothing. And it's just saying, can you get dressed? Can you dress Martha for work? And so they can pick different things. And so it's just like playing dress up, which is kind of interesting and fun for kids, I believe. So if you drag these over, you might see that now her arms are not in the right place. And so we might have to say reorder. And you need to teach kids about ordering and formatting. So you tell them to just right click and go to order, and anything they want to be in front, they can go bring to front, and things they want to move to back, they can go move to back. And now Martha is behind the clothing. And there are some different other slides that have some other character parts or career clothing parts that kids can play around with. This one's kind of cute because it has a mask, so during our times, kids might want that. So the next slide does say, can you help Carl get dressed for work? This is just like the Martha activity. They just pick what they want Carl to wear. However, here in this one, we can also give Carl different hair if we want to ungroup. So that's the other thing you can show kids, is that you can group parts together so that they stay together when you move them. So if I ungroup Carl right now, you can see that his hair can be moved away. And then I can pick this other hair and decide I want Carl to be blonde. So I'm going to move his hair over and keep him that way. And that's totally up to the kids. And if they did that, then they might want to regroup him and make sure that all their parts stay together by clicking. Oopsie, we don't want that. And then they right click and they would group. So that's that. And then there's hats and accessories, just a little slide that they can come back to kind of see what other things were out there. If they want to grab some eggs, there's little eggs in the pan, and they can get that, and there's the pen by itself. This is actually like a little police badge, and we have a little pair of glasses. This next slide has additional work clothing, and on this slide there's like an example of a female, so it's just, they can mess around and see that it doesn't have to be just guys, and it can be girls, and it can be whoever they want, as these different career characters. So this one says, can you help Sean get ready for work? And they can drag whatever they like and pick and choose what they want Sean to wear. And then this last one says, can you recreate me using the pictures in this slide? And this is more of an activity to like see if they can go back and see, well, what was used from these slides to make this particular character. And if they can recreate this person, that's great. And if not, you know, it's fun to try. So that's the slides I wanted to show you. I've showed you OBS and how you can stream live to the students, to your own Google Classroom. The last thing I'm going to show you is this opportunity for you guys to set up your Google Meets as breakout rooms. So this is my setup in Google Doc for my period 2. And simply all you have to do, and I'm going to not really go into it too much, but when you go into your Google Classroom initially, so I'm going to go over here to my period 1. And you can go up here to where it says, so let me see if I can move this down for you guys a little bit. Okay, so when we're in the part where it says generate meet link, just generate that link, and you want to copy it. And when you've copied it, so now this is going to be my period 1. So I'm going to move that down, and I'm going to keep that code as it is and paste it there. And that's my regular period 1, like Google Meet always. So this is like going to be a period 1's, like whenever we have a Google Meet, this would be the code for the whole class to show up in. But when I want them to break out into their groups, I'll have a breakout room for them. And it's literally as simple as taking that same code and just changing after lookup to what you want it to be. So that will be group 1. And now when they go, if I place this into my group 1 over here, if I go to my class, I can save this. Basically what I would do is create a topic here. And the topic is breakout rooms. Now within my same period, I'm going to go ahead and create material. I'm going to call this material breakout room group 1 and say this room is for group 1 members only. Use the link to access the breakout room. And then I'm going to add this link and copy it. So I have to get group 1's link. And I'm going to go over to add link. And I just have to paste that link that I created and press add link. And you'll see it pops up right there. You can tell that it's going to work because there's the Google Meet camera, video camera symbol. And all you do for the rest of your rooms is change those endings to group 2, group 3, group 4, whatever, and so on. And you can do that for each of your periods. And that's how you can do breakout rooms using Google Meet. I hope this has been helpful. So again, you guys can catch me. You can catch me by emailing me at drive, D-R-I-V-E, like you drive a car, learning by teachers at gmail.com. And you can also locate our website to access the files that are free, the Google Slides that we just went through for free, at drivelearningbyteachers.com. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you guys do try to use OBS to live stream using some creative backgrounds. Get yourself some green poster boards to set up just any little area behind you to use chroma key and again make your live meets a little bit more engaging and exciting by changing up your backgrounds. All right, goodbye.